Hey everyone, today we're gonna be discussing the part 2 of Unit 7 in History book. So, today's topic is the second urbanization. So, if you didn't watch the first urbanization video, make sure to check out the link which is in the down description box and come to this video. Okay, so today we're going to be discussing about the second urbanization in Sri Lanka. In our previous video, we discussed that after the decline of Anuradhapura and the Polonnaruwa Kingdom, due to various reasons, there was no ruler to rule this country. So because of that, Dambadeniya was started. So our first subtopic is Dambadeniya Kingdom. Dambadeniya Kingdom. So the king who started Dambadeniya was Vijayabahu the third. So this king did not have any royal relations. So, but this king decided to make a kingdom in Dambadeniya and rule the country, even though he did not have any royal relations. And thus, with Vijayabahu III, the relations, all the royal kings are carried out. So we will be learning those in the future. Okay, so Subbasenavi, who protected the area from enemies by building an inaccessible place in the Yapahuwa rock, and Duke Buanakabahu, who prevented enemies from entering Ruhuna by making a citadel at the top of the Govindamalaya mountain, and Sankasenavi, who had built a citadel in the rock in Gandhenia close to Mahayangana area, was prominent among them. So these were some safe areas. Okay, so chieftain named Vijayabahu III. So Vijayabahu III was a chieftain, not a prince or a king. Okay, so as I said earlier, this king did not have any royal relations with royalty. So he lived in Dambadeniya. He ruled, making Dambadeniya as his ruling center in between 1232, so 1232 AD to 1236 AD. Dambadeniya got developed consisting of all that needed for a city. So Dambadeniya was like continuing because it had all the needed things that a city could possibly have. And so King Vijayabahu III established the Dambadeniya Kingdom in 1232. His relationship with the old royal family in Anuradhapura is not clear, as I mentioned you earlier. So the sources mention that this king, King Vijayabahu III, was a Vanni Nayaka, that means a provincial leader, a Vanni ruler. So this king was a Vanni ruler, a provincial leader. Vanni means a kind of provincial ruling unit originated after the downfall of Rajarata civilization. So after the downfall of Rajarata civilization, Vanni was formed. So Vanni were like the rulers who ruled the provincial cities. Yeah, so that's about Vannis. So it seems that King Vijayabahu III too was a provincial leader at first, but gradually became powerful. He dispelled the enemies who were in Mayarata and built Dambadeniya as his ruling center. So there were enemies back then in Mayarata. So this king fought and dispelled the enemies. So Mayaratha had enemies. So this king dispelled them. Polonnaruwa was surrendered by the enemies because protected the tooth relic and the bowl relic too. And of course, they took those sacred objects to Kotmale and protected them. So Kotmale is still like a place in Sri Lanka. So since the enemies surrendered the Polonnaruwa, the tooth relic and the bowl relic were sent to Kotmale in order to protect them. He built Dalada Maligawa in Beligala and deposited there. Now we can see some services that this king had done. So the first service was like he built Dalada Maligawa in Beligala. Okay, deposited them in there. But then this task, okay, now in Sri Lanka, protecting the tooth relic was the main purpose of becoming a king. So in ancient Sri Lanka, every king had to prove that he's capable of protecting the tooth relic. So this was in Beligala. Yeah. So this king also proved that he can protect and he can take care of the tooth relic, and thus he became a king. So possession of the tooth relic was the legal receipt of kingship. As I told you earlier, King Vijayabahu III performed a number of religious and national activities. So the first activity is building Dambadeniya Kingdom. So he built Dambadeniya Kingdom. So the first service is building Dambadeniya Kingdom. The first one. The second one is reconstructing Kalani Temple. So this King Vijayabahu III, reconstructed Kalani Temple. The third one, making Sangha amendment by holding Upasampada festival again. So festival again. Okay, so made Sangha amendment by bringing Upasampada festival again. And also this king rewrote the books which are in disuse. So okay. So these are the common services done by King Vijayabahu III. So the ruling time was 4 years and he died in 1236. So after the death of King Vijayabahu III, he had two sons, namely Parakrambahu and Bonakabahu. So I will be giving a quick summary, like a short note at the end of this video or at the end of this series. So make sure to continue watching these videos if you want to get that summary. Yeah. Okay, so after his death, his eldest son Parakrambahu became the king of Dambadeniya in 1236. So King Parakrambahu II ruled Dambadeniya after the death of King Vijayabahu III. So, the King Parakrambahu II was the eldest son. So he started ruling Dambadeniya. So he composed a scholarly title. He had a scholarly title known as Kalikala Sahitya Swarnya Pandita. So I'll repeat it again. Kalikala Sahitya Sarvajna Pandita. So that was the scholarly title. It was composed in a great book. So I'll write it here. So this is the scholarly title. Okay, so apart from these things, this king had done so many political services to our country. So let's see what are those. So he repulsed Chandrabanu's army by Sri Lankan army led by this king. So the first one was repulsed Chandrabanu's army. And the second one was that he defeated and liberated Sri Lanka from Maga. So as I explained about Kalinga Maga in part 1 of this video, so this King Parakrambahu II defeated and liberated the country from this Kalinga Maga enemy. Defeated The third one was that, like, after repulsing Chandrabanu's army, Chandrabanu came again to Sri Lanka, but this time King Parakrambanu II defeated Chandrabanu, that means like killed Chandrabanu, and like he killed Chandrabanu with the help from a Pandyan emperor. So defeated Chandrabanu, that's right, defeated Chandrabanu with the help of from emperor. And also, this King Parakrambhav II, got help from Minister Deva Patiraja to develop the economic, religious, and educational sectors. Deva Patiraja in order to develop economic, religious and educational sectors. So these are the services done by King Parakrambahu II. So these are in short form. You can either write this down or just take a screenshot. Okay, Parakrambahu II passed away in about 1270 AD. His son Prince Vijayabahu attained the kingship. He is named as Vijayabahu the Fourth, or you can call him Bosat Vijayabahu as well. So his reign was limited only for like 2 years because he died due to a military coup. After that, Prince Bhuvanakabahu, who was the brother of King Vijayabahu the Fourth, overcame the conspirators and became the king in about 1272. Okay, so after Bosat Vijayabahu died, Prince Bhuvanakabahu, who was the brother of Vijayabahu the Fourth, that means King Parakrambahu the second, had two two sons. Okay, so now Bhuvanakabahu. Okay, so Vijayabahu the Fourth, who was also known as Bosat Vijayabahu, ruled in Dambadeniya, but Bhuvanakabahu the First. So Bhuvanakabahu the First also ruled Dambadeniya like for a small period of time because he had to face so many invasions. Like, for example, as soon as he became the king, a group of provincial leaders rebelled against him, and also South Indian forces invaded Sri Lanka, and also one invasion was led by an army general named Kalinga Rayar. So another platoon was led by one army general named Chodanga. Likewise, this king, King Bhuvanakabahu the First, had to face so many challenges when ruling in Dambadeniya. So let's like write them down, all the invasions he went through. Provincial leaders came. Okay, and South Indian forces, and also Chodanga army. So after spending a few years in Dambadeniya, later King Bhuvanakabahu I moved to Yapahuwa. And now this king is ruling Yapahuwa. So King Bhuvanakabahu I, the first ruled like ruling Yapahuwa, and of course this king was interested in trade relations with foreign countries. So, for example, like a group of ambassadors sent by the king to Sultan in Egypt to discuss to develop trade relations with Egypt had been like welcomed in Cairo in a month of April in 1283. So that's an example that's clearly mentioned in your textbook. You can refer that. And of course, after some time, King Bhuvanakabahu I died in 1284. So now you may be wondering, okay, then after that, which king did rule this country. So after the demise of this king, Buwanakabahu, okay, now this king passed away, okay. So Prince Parakramabahu, the son of Bosat Vijayabahu, that means like this king's elder brother's son, okay, known as King Parakrambahu, Prince Parakrambahu, okay, the son of Bosat Vijayabahu and Prince Buwanakabahu II, the son of Buwanakabahu. Okay, now this is what happened. This king and Buwanakabahu I and Bosat Vijayabahu were brothers. So this king had a son. So Buwanakabahu I had a son called Buwanakabahu II, and this king had Parakramabahu. So yeah, so a dispute was started because the son of this king also wanted to rule the country, but the son of this king also wanted to rule the country. But at the end, like, Buwanakabahu II became the king. So, like, during this dispute, okay, a provincial leader from South India named R.D. Chakravarti had arrived in Sri Lanka with a Pandyan army, attacked the Yapahuwa citadel, took the truth relic to South India and handed it over to King Kulashekara, who was the Pandyan king. So now what happened was, so let's take this small sketch. So this is Sri Lanka and this is India. So what happened was, a provincial leader from South India named R. Chakravarti came to Sri Lanka with the Pandyan army. Okay, so with the Pandyan, because they knew that Sri Lanka did not have a proper king at that time because there was a dispute between like two sons. So these enemies came to Sri Lanka and they took the tooth relic to India. Okay, so now because of this, now they took this tooth relic to give it to King Kulashekara. Okay, so in order to take the tooth relic back, the fighting sons, who was the son of Buwanakabahu III, the first, so the son's name was second, yeah. So Buwanakabahu, the first son, and Parakramabahu, okay, so Buwanakabahu first son and Bosat Vijayabahu's son went to India, okay, and then took the truth relic. Now they didn't fight or make any like a war kind of thing, but these two sons discussed with King Kulashekara and then brought the tooth relic again to Sri Lanka. Okay, after that, King Parakrambahu III went to Polonnaruwa and started ruling. So Parakrambahu III was the son of Bosat Vijayabahu. And then Prince Buwanakabahu II, who was the son of Buwanakabahu I, started ruling in Kurunagala by taking the tooth relic. So I told you, to be a king, you should have the tooth relic. And yes, this king, Buwanakabahu the first king, first son, Buwanakabahu II became the king in Kurunegala. Okay guys, so that's about the Kurunegala Kingdom, but we didn't go to depth of Kurunegala Kingdom. We'll do it in part 3 of this video. So today we discussed about Dambadeniya Kingdom, Yapahuwa Kingdom only, and we discussed about so many kings. So you can watch part 1 and part 2 of this video and stay tuned for part 3. Hope you guys learned something new. Make sure to subscribe and answer these questions. We will be discussing it in part 3. And the answers for part 1 are here. Bye bye.